my arrhythmia has been acting up a lot this week, and I just keep picturing myself like being terrified by these monsters and stuff, and my heart going, ugh. But let's hope everything goes okay and I have fun. There's a buffet dinner with it. So yeah, anyways, as I said, today was my last day of work. And I really hadn't known until earlier this week whether or not Kyle even knew what was going on, that I was leaving or what was happening. I hadn't asked his mom because I didn't want to ask in front of him in case he didn't know, and I didn't know what to say or what not to say in front of him. But we were at the park a few days ago, and a lady and I got talking, and it came up that I was his nanny, and she was, you know, mentioning that she had a friend that was looking for part-time childcare, and she herself was, but she's just looking for someone like one day every 2 weeks, which isn't very much. But, you know, just in conversation, I couldn't help it. I had to say, just because I am looking for part-time right now, you know, that I was available, that this was my last week. And I'd hoped Kyle hadn't heard me, but he was close enough that he did. When we got back to the house that night, he was kind of getting upset, saying, well, what's going to happen? How's my teacher going to know who I can go with if you're not there to pick me up? Like, he was basically saying, like, how's his teacher going to know who the new nanny is? And how's she going to know who he can go with? And he was getting upset about that. And so I just explained to him that his mommy would probably introduce the new nanny to the teacher and everything would be fine. And then I quickly changed the subject because I just didn't know what to say. And so anyways, yesterday we talked about it, that today was going to be my last day, because Kyle was asking about coming to my place soon for lunch and seeing Riley, because there's been a couple of times where I brought him here. And I said, well, I don't think you'll be coming to my house again. And he said, ever? And I said, no. And I said, because tomorrow's my last day. And he goes, oh, right. I think my mommy hired a new nanny. So then we were working on his letters, because I had made up a book of tracing letters and then practicing writing letters by himself. I wanted to do the whole alphabet before I left. So we've been working on 2 letters per day for the last few weeks. And yesterday we finished it. And so we were doing it, and he just kept hugging me. And then we were playing his Thomas the Tank Engine board game that I bought him for his birthday. And he kept saying, I have to give you a lot of hugs because I'm not going to see you anymore. And then today, we went to the park, and then I decided to walk over to Zeller's with him to get him a present. So we started walking, and you know, he was asking me, why are we going to the store? And I said, well, I think that it would be nice if I could get you a present. And he said, why do you want to get me a present? And I said, well, because today is my last day, and I'm really going to miss you, and you're a really special boy. And so he said, wow. He was all excited. And then as we were walking, he said, I'm sad that you're leaving. And he said, but I know a way we could change that so you could stay. And he said, and I said, really? And he said, yeah. And he said, well, we don't have to spend the afternoons with Damon. And Damon is the other boy who I was asked, you know, for the shared nanny thing, him and his little brother. So he obviously has been filled in on why this is happening. So it was just so cute that, you know, he thought if we don't have to look after the other two boys in the afternoon, I could stay. And it really is that simple. But this is his mom's choice, and I told him that. I just said, well, this is what your mommy has decided, and this is what she wants to do. I mean, what more could I say? I want to be honest with the kid. So we went, and I bought him 2 new cars, and also there's those wonderful machines where they have toys in them, and they're outrageously priced now. They're $2. So anytime we've ever been at that store to get art supplies or whatever, he's always seen it, and he's always asked me to get him one. And, you know, like, I've just always found them a waste of money. And but today I just thought, I'll get him one. Same as there's always lollipops at the checkout. He's always asked me for a lollipop. And, you know, it's sugary junk, and usually it's been close to dinner, so I always say no, but today he got a lollipop. So he was quite happy. And then on our way back, he ran into a girl from school, so we ended up playing again at the playground. And then, you know, we went back to his house, and his mom was already there. And so he, you know, his mom gave me a really nice card thanking me for everything, saying how good I've been, and gave me some chocolates and my paycheck and my record of employment. And then she also gave me a nice cash bonus, which was nice, as a thank you. However, this just doesn't help my feelings on the situation, because I'm so mad and angry at her for basically being, in my opinion, basically discriminating against me for, you know, my illness. But at the same time, you know, she obviously has liked my work. So it's like, if you really like me that much, why are you letting me go just because of this little thing? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And then also, like, I'm just so angry. Like, I'd love to just wash my hands of the woman at this point. But at the same time, Kyle started to get really upset when it was getting close to me getting ready to go home. And actually, at first, when he saw me opening the gift, he was asking what it was for, and she said, you know, to thank, sorry, I'm just checking my time. She said it's to thank Crystal, you know, for everything she's done. And it was really funny, and he goes, but she made me sad sometimes. And we knew exactly what he meant. He just meant, you know, when he's misbehaved, which is very rare, you know, I've had to, you know, give him a timeout or discipline him or whatever, or, you know, sometimes he'll ask to watch TV and I'll have to say no or whatever. So he meant in that situation, and so his mom just said, well, you know, sometimes I make you sad too, but she said, you know, sometimes we have to say no. And he said, well, I think parents should let children do whatever they want. So that was funny. And then, you know, he was fine until it was time for me to say bye. And I'm probably going to cry again. He just started crying and just kept hugging me and saying he didn't want me to go and asking me if I could come back and see him tomorrow. And I said, well, tomorrow's Saturday, so I said I'm busy. I'm going to be going out with my friends. And I said, you know, even if I was coming back still as your nanny, I wouldn't see you tomorrow because it's the weekend. And I said, I always am at home on the weekend, and you always are with your mommy on the weekend. But he just kept saying, but I wanted to see you tomorrow. And he was just crying, and he just kept saying, I want Crystal to stay, um, and it was just ripping my heart out to see him, because I've been with him for 2 years, and, you know, he gets upset, with his mom not there. Like, she's not with him very often. It's really sad. And sometimes he'll just burst into tears crying for mommy. And, you know, I've been the one constant thing. I mean, he's with me more than he's with his mom. And I know that in 2 years he won't need a nanny anyway because he'll be in school full time. And so now he's going to get attached to a new nanny, and in 2 years she'll be ripped away from him. So to me it's like, why put him through it twice when it could just be the one time that I'm with him for 4 years and then move on. And so his mom asked me to keep in touch, and maybe I could visit for, you know, for him, for his sake, and you know, even said if I'm up to it, like if she needs me occasionally for babysitting on evenings. And I was so mad that I would love to just say no, but he was so upset to see me leave that I said yes, and I promised him that I would see him again, that it wasn't goodbye forever. And he just kept hugging me, and even when I went to, you know, walk out the door, he came running up and he said, "One more hug." And I was trying so hard not to cry in front of him, and so I gave him one last hug. And you know, he has one of those screen doors with like the big window, and all I could see was just him looking out the window, just crying and saying, "I want Crystal." So that was really, really hard. And as soon as I started to cross the street, I lost it and started crying. I couldn't take it. Like, he was just breaking my heart. So I feel so bad for him that now come Monday he's gonna have some strange person picking him up at school, and he's probably not gonna be very happy about that. Sorry. So you know, I promised him that I would see him again though, that I would come visit, so I have to do that because he doesn't need any more than the crap that he's already gone through now. So, but yeah, and